that's in the live. Listen, I had told y'all I had wanted to talk about this situation, with Charleston White. The conservatives, listen, listen. I think that this Charlie Kirk thing is deeper than the Charleston White. I think you're gonna see a split in with amongst conservatives, and I think you're really gonna see it amongst religious conservatives. It's not gonna be Charlie Kirk. I think that it's gonna be amongst religious and non-religious conservatives. Man, I really feel that coming as I'm watching it. It's quite crazy. But what brings me here today is Charleston White. Charleston White. See, Charleston White had some things to say about Charlie Kirk, and now the pressure is on for Charleston White to be canceled. And as I was saying just a couple days ago, like, listen, this is why politically, in especially the geopolitical thing, because now is like Candace Owens is tying this into Israel and Iran. Seeing like it's a lot of shit, and you got Tucker Carlson versus Brandon Tatum now. Listen, I think that you're gonna see a split. This Charlie Kirk thing is exposing the real differences amongst conservatives. And I think that Brandon Tatum is going to be in a position after calling out Tucker Carlson. Tatum is going to be in a position where he is going to have to eventually call out his own friend, Candace Owens. So it's quite the situation. I would have never thought or pictured this, probably 5 years ago. I wouldn't have pictured it. I wouldn't have pictured um, Charlie Kirk being killed at a college. I wouldn't have pictured that. I didn't imagine that at all, to be honest with you. And for Candace Owens to then turn it into a back and forth with Israel, I think is what is catching me off guard. I'm shocked by that as well. I mean, especially knowing exactly who the person is. I mean, we're in conspiracies, theory land here. So I mean, it's interesting to watch it. This is why I say, like, with the political thing, I tend to stay on the outside of it. Shout out to Mo, man. Hey Mo, listen, man. Hey, my boy, I be following you on Facebook, Brody. Shout out to my boy Mo, man. Much love to him, man. Much love, man. Beautiful family, man. Shout out on the 100,000 subscribers too, man. Much love, man. Shout out to him, Mo. Been at this a long time, man. Roger, what's going on? Salute, brother. But yeah, hey Mo, did you picture this Brandon Tatum versus Tucker Carlson situation? I mean, Charleston White. I think we all understand Charleston White. I mean, as a conservative, I didn't picture, because I mean Charleston White lands, but see, this is where it is with content creators. See, I mean, I don't know if politically, if Charleston White considers himself to be a conservative. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, thank you, Eyes. Yeah, I got a blue one, just like it, man. I love these things, man. I love these things. Much love, man. Always trying to do something different. I hate to look like other niggas. Uh Joke, I've been around, man. Listen, listen. I don't know if I'm here today, and I want to tell you, I'm not really here on the political side of the conversation. So I don't want y'all to think that I'm on the political side of the conversation, because I'm not restarting a political channel. That's not gonna happen. I'm not doing that. I'm not. What I am is that what brings me here is Charleston White, though, man. Charleston White. Charleston White brings me here, man. And I mean, the Tatum versus Tucker thing really, I'm gonna be honest with you, it caught me off guard. It really did. I wouldn't have pictured that, man. I wouldn't have pictured that. Oh, thank you, Mo. It's a picture, man. It's Shit, I done had this thing for years, man. I done had this thing for years. But I got a few things to play. And then we're gonna go ahead on and get up out of the church. Close the church service down. But listen, you know, shout out to Eyes Antonio. Much love to Eyes. Shout out to Mo. Shout out to Roger. Shout out to Joker. Mac. Salute to Mac in the building. Knowledge, beautiful, for coming in, saying what's up. Like I said, I got a few things to play. I'm gonna start off with Charleston White's words though on Charlie there. So let me pull this up. Let me pull this up, man. We're gonna start with Charleston White real quick. I got a few things. We're gonna start with him, man. Yeah, which one is it? See, when I saw this video, I was like, listen, Charleston is, you know, he playing the dangerous game. You know, and like Charleston is a big creator. I think O'Shea, and I'm gonna play some of O'Shea. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. I'm gonna play some of O'Shea video because he gave a great breakdown as to why Charleston can say the shit that he's saying. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's crazy, to be honest with you. But you know, like let me play this, man. Let me play this.
Get it, the kids, son. Y'all applauded me when I disrespected. All y'all applauded that. Loved and came to the shows. Even the comedy club owners. Oh, we love him back. While I make mockery of George Floyd. He said, "F his baby." Said, "F Woody, baby." Oh, y'all laugh. That's why nobody really like white.
Yeah, Mo. See, Mo. This is why I told niggas want to go down that conspiracy theory, you know, that rabbit hole with her, man. And I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it, man. Like, these people can say things. The one thing that I would always say is that these people are people. So I mean, I don't expect much from them. I don't expect truth from them. Fuck that. They're not gonna tell the truth.
People. Nobody really like y'all. There's nowhere y'all can go in the world where people don't frown up at y'all.
Oh, she a take a bop. Tonight I'm trying to chicken bop. You know it's up. I'm really on my top. I'm on my top. Say you Jake winning from the.
It is what it do, what it be like. Man, welcome back to What the Hell, the TV, where everything we read based on the fact he talked about the Charlie Kirk situation. And a lot of people
ethnocentric. Learn the word. You ain't got no friends. The black boy have been your only friend in the last 50 years. The worst of the world want to destroy you. Everybody is coming up against white people, and you know it. We've been your only friend in the last 50, 60 years. Genuinely been your friend. And you still mistreat us. Y'all time almost up. Russia don't like you. North Korea don't like you. Africa joining with China. China ruling you. You're bound to China. Israel punking you, treating you like Russia, making you suck his. But you playing tough with us and you're losing your country. This ain't your problem. Black America ain't your mother problem. China is. You think I don't know how to play on white folk? Didn't I play on y'all to get here? Didn't y'all love me for now? Y'all think half I was saying I really believe I've been playing on y'all. I'm a ignorant when it comes to white people. Pass all my white friends. Smooth. I'm telling y'all, that's why I love Trump. Me and Trump is one of the same because we can play on both sides of the field. Trump played Democrat, then came over here and played dumb Republican. So you got to be clever to play Democrat. You ain't got to be too smart to play Republican. You just got to remember history and know which side to play for. Dumb. So yeah, that's Republican, Democrat, dumb. And got to know how to play both sides. If you're stuck on one side, you're stupid. That's what makes Trump so clever. He knows how to play on both sides. That's why I salute the commander-in-chief. That's why I got my game from it. I read his book. White boy can't beat me, and I done read Donald Trump's book, but I know how to play on both sides. I know how to play on the liberal and the conservative, and the independent too, nigga, because I know history. I can talk history, and I can talk law, I can talk politics, and I can talk world events. Say, listen, white people. Do y'all remember that they had the school shooting, the Uvalde, when all the Mexican babies got killed? I made fun of the Mexican babies. Y'all didn't cancel me. I made fun of a whole school of Mexican children getting killed. Uvalde, look it up. Y'all didn't have nothing to say to it. So who give a f about Charlie? I can't stand Charlie. And you know what I'm realizing? The youth don't like Charlie neither. That's why they killed him. Only the old folks like it because that's the old way. The new day ain't the old way, so Charlie had to get out the way. The young people, this was a young people's call. They hate Charlie. You know who love me? The young people. Because of Aiden Ross, Neon, all the young streamers. You know who hate me?
They love me because of Aiden Ross and Neon.
Old people. See the difference? The old people love Charlie. The young people didn't. They said, Charlie. Ask DJ Academics. I'm going to do some 6ix9ine tonight. The young people will be listening. So, Charlie, old people, that's the old day, not the new day. I think somewhere in y'all Bible it says you can't put the old wineskin. Oh, you can't put new wine in old wineskin. Charlie was old wineskin trying to be new wine. So the youth voted to kill him because he was picking on them. I pick on the adult bullies who mislead the kids. See the difference? Since you're gonna get by a pack of wild tonight because I'm exercising free speech. No one can take it from me. And me and Charlie would be both supporters of this. Charlie said we need to bring back public execution, and guess what? Charlie got public executed. Charlie, you're almost like a Tupac. He's like a hunky Tupac. That's what the f he was. Charlie was a hunky Tupac. Yeah, but Charlie would be in agreement with me being able to say whatever the f I want to say. Because I got a video of Charlie saying he can say whatever he wants. Man, he was talking about, well, I can say whatever the f I want to. I'm an American. And I'm not a convicted felon. Who's going to be mad at an American exercising his right to freedom of speech? And so you got the president and white people saying any American talk bad about Charlie, they're coming after us. So you mean to tell me they're going to silence us by speaking against white people again? They're trying to take us back to those times where people would be punished for speaking against white people they love? Charlie, you got people saying Jesus. You're not punishing him for saying Jesus. So Charlie and his loving daughters. Little white put my Charlie's wife mouth, and if I take it out of her mouth, her real good. And I got a big Charlie wife. Someone tag Charlie's wife for me. Or Candace Owens, one of them. I got a big by Charlie. And that's for you white boys that's mad about what I'm saying. Suck my Charlie fans can suck my Charlie supporters that's mourning for Charlie, suck. Give a f about that white boy, and I can put on a white girl of my own. She like that.
This is crazy. Listen, I can understand not liking someone, but I guess Charleston White has built obviously he's built his platform on disrespecting people. It is what it is. I mean, but goddamn, Charleston. My God, brother. Listen, I can't keep listening to that. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. I don't understand, that particular point of it, man. Damn. But because of those points that Charleston White made, conservatives have went about canceling Charleston White, and this is, a situation that, like I said, I was talking about this before with the Candace Owens things, as people were starting to report on that, and I'm like, listen, you're gonna have to find something else. If you go down the rabbit hole with this, you're gonna be stuck in bullshit. Don't do this. Don't do this. You can take the other route, and like I said, Charleston White, he backed a little different. He himself is saying the young people, I think is black folks too that's backing him, that's allowing, a lot of this shit, because, these the people that's gonna come to the comedy shows. So as far as the shows that's going, it's, I'm wondering who is in the room at these shows, because they were unable to get the show canceled, but they did try. We're gonna talk about that. Man. Let me see, where is that at, man? But Charleston, this is Charleston White responding. What's up, Joe? This is Charleston White responding to the attempt on him being canceled, because see, listen, and I listen, Charleston. This would be my advice to you, brother. Just shut up. Sometimes, man, it's better off that you not say anything at all. This ain't your fight. So why get in the middle of it? Why disrespect this man? Why stir up the pot? And I get it. A lot of your career has been based on that. So, what keeps you popular online? But I'm wondering how the support continues, especially, with the Aiden Rosses and the Neons, as he says.
Now what the fuck did happen? Y'all done got in y'all pussy feelings, you white cracker, peckerwood, pink toe animal.
Here we go again.
I thought y'all said y'all, well, come on now. They just put me on one of the biggest comedy shows September 29th in Atlanta with them niggas down there. Oh, you thought y'all can control. No, y'all just got white friends that listen to y'all.
Wait. Man, look, man, I'm trying to tell you shit. Man. Look, I just paid by the club.
Make sure you go to What the Helly, man, and subscribe, man. This brother been keeping track of everything.
What it is, what it do, what it be like. Welcome back. He's back, man. Charleston White responds to the backlash and being canceled about the Charlie Kirk situation. Now, in this video, he will go out. Me personally, I'm not racist, cool white people, just to throw that in there, because I don't want nobody coming for me thinking, oh, I'm pushing this agenda, you know what I'm saying? But hey, man, some things need to be heard, some things need to be said. It is what it is, you feel me? Now, do I agree with everything that this man says? No, but majority and the main points he hitting at, yes, I do agree with him. And once you listen to this video, you will understand. And he's basically saying, like, they trying to counsel him and he's still making things happen.
Listen, I'm wondering how far this is gonna go, Charleston. You know what I mean? I'm wondering.
And
on everything, old white folk. Y'all don't run the country no more. Y'all trying to get it back, though. I see you. Y'all scrambling hard in the motherfucker to get your country back. But guess what?
Yeah, listen, I do.
Y'all don't let too many people in here.
I do agree with that. Yeah, he has said some atrocious fucking things. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Y'all done let too many motherfucking people here. This is Babylon. 99 motherfucking tongues is in your country.
It's about time.
And guess who got to get you your product? China. Every goddamn thing you got, white folk, come from China. Made in China. How you go run something and you don't run nothing no more? Your politicians is ran by foreign lobbies and corporations. How you go run something and I put asses in seats? How y'all gonna stop me? And I am the internet now. You see y'all, let me show y'all how bad I am. Let me show you how good I am, cracker folk. I done lost over 24 Instagram pages. I done had 5 this year. Just as soon as y'all delete me,
It's just interesting to me because he always talks so upstanding about white people and the white people he used to help him get black people out of jail. Those stories that he always tells, and to hear him, use such rhetoric, I am just surprised.
increases my status. Oh, they banned Charleston. Guess what? I got a YouTube page that I started 3 days ago. It's already monetized. That's just the power of Charleston. I got about 6 interviews lined up, 4 within the next couple of days. That money's pretty good. Now all of a sudden, here come a man who was born to sin, that's going to die in sin, but may not die a sinner, and y'all are worshiping like as if he's Jesus. No. This man, Charlie Kirk, was in college when a 72-year-old man discovered him and gave him talking points and put, about $4 million behind Charlie Kirk. So Charlie Kirk is Turning Point USA. And he was just a talking point because Rush Limbaugh and Bill O'Reilly and all these guys was too old to connect with the youth. So they went and found a young guy like the...
I agree, Slander. It's definitely not profitable. It definitely costs money and reputation, specifically with the white people that he's talking about right now. But it's not profitable. It costs him. It costs him to have a good reputation and to be friends with the white people that he's talking about right now. But the one thing I can give Charleston is that he is consistent. He will talk shit about absolutely anyone.
The Democrats did with young Obama. That's all they did. They gave him he was a talking point with talking points. That's all he was. I'm an ultra. That's exactly what I am. I did not come to be liked. I did not come to the net to be, we want to love Charleston. I came to be hated. My mission is complete. I came, nigga, fuck everything, fuck everybody. But let me get back to Kirk. Kirk was like an Obama. Those wasn't his real views. That's why he was kind of he had talking points, and he targeted.
Well, huh? Well, Charlie Kirk was like an Obama. That's interesting. Obama just had talking points. Also interesting. Oh my God.
A certain demographic, which was young, undeveloped minds of college students. So they was trying to do what the liberals was doing because they were trying to counter. Because at first the Republican talking points was the liberal teachers are fucking our babies up, the liberal teachers in the liberal college institution. So they had to go find somebody like Kirk. So, oh man, oh my goodness. But I don't want to get into politics. Being a satire comedian is way better. Pays a lot more, and I get away with saying a lot more. Had Charlie played comedian, he'd still be alive.
Now I will say on that last report he said
That's an interesting perspective. Vic, what's good, bro? That's an interesting perspective, man. If Charlie Kirk had played comedian, he would still be alive. I don't see. You can't play comedian on a college campus. And I'm gonna be quite honest with you, like you're not really gonna. I mean, you could play comedian, but I don't think that Charlie would have got to the point that the power that he had. So the popularity that he had, doing it, from a comedic perspective. Um, so I would say to Charleston White, much like you decided you no longer wanted to go about the law to change things anymore, and becoming a comedian, a caricature, so like what you're saying is that you don't want people to take you serious. So, yeah, you're thinking that you can speak to the mind, but you're speaking and you're not having a debate with people is, I don't know. But that's an interesting perspective. I don't know if he would have had the same popularity. You don't have many comedians that are saying what he's saying, and I'm curious to see if that's what Charleston White is going to say on the show. I want to go see what he's saying in the show. I'm curious. I am very curious. I might have to go out of town and see that. I want to see how the crowd reacts to what he's saying, because as a comedian, a lot of times, you playing towards the crowd. So, if he changed the delivery, he would be outer and way bigger. Yeah, I don't know. But see, like, what made Charlie, what made him popular was going to the college campuses. He wasn't the only one that was doing that. There was a couple other people that were doing that and sitting on college campuses and having discourse with young people. So that's much different because at a show you're not really gonna have a discourse with young people, and you there to make people laugh. So you don't have time to argue with people in the show, and you got to keep the show moving forward. So, Charleston White is not going to have time to argue a point on transgenderism with somebody in the crowd. That's not how it's going to work in the show. Oh, with Charleston, yeah. But yeah, like I think, and like that's really what I'm talking about is Charleston and like his routine. Like I'm wondering because, Kirk was having conversations with people back and forth. Charleston is, in a show entertaining people in the audience, and you're gonna have a wide variety of people in the audience. So I'm wondering, what his subject matter is gonna be. Because it's much different than doing things online or, talking to Aiden Ross and they laughing at all your jokes because you bring in views to their channel. So I'm wondering, just yeah. Yeah, see, slander, that's that's gonna get old. That's gonna get old. that's gonna get old, man. Like that's gonna get old. I mean, I'm wondering how big he thinks he is that niggas is just gonna want to pay for him to talk shit. Like who? Like I can watch that online. I guess I could technically watch your act online, but it's more of an act that you telling jokes. But you being just interviewed. Dion said a comedian version of Kirk would still gather an audience. Yeah, it would, but would it be as popular as what he was doing? Because a lot of those clips were going viral, on the arguments that were being made on the left, whether it was about transgenderism or whatever. You know what I mean? Like those clips were going viral. So would you have that? Like Charlie Kirk wouldn't have that same effect. he wouldn't have that same effect within, like, doing it from within comedy. So, like, he used the internet to his advantage, and like, it's no different than the people who right now interview people on the street about relationships and the clips go viral, or no different than, like, what it was a couple of them I seen and didn't realize what he was getting into. Sophie. Yeah, Slandered. I used to think that, but he been here 5 times with the same act. It's crazy. Like, yeah, like, Charleston is a one-trick pony probably in that way, man. Like, who the fuck really cares, man? You go see him once, like, who really cares? Charlie was naive and didn't realize what he was getting into. Listen, I would. I don't know if I would want to say that Charlie was naive. I don't think that he thought that, you would have you would have a young kid who had a transgender partner and who would, kill him with a sniper rifle. I don't think that he thought that based on his views. But it is it is what it is. But naive, I don't know. I mean, I maybe I'm coming from my perspective and I'm saying that I wouldn't have thought that. I'll say this, like, with political discourse, and this is why I tend to stay away from it. And like, it's more of a divider than a thing that really brings people together. So, like, even in my comedy, like, I stay away from politics. I stay far away from it, man. Like, like, I like to talk about your everyday life's perspective. But as far as your political points and perspective, man, because then, like when you, especially when you get into having a channel, like, now you start to have to, like, really pander and grow your channel around a specific audience. And I'm telling you, it's not. You want I want as big a mixed crowd as I can get, man. You know what I mean? So I want to get everybody in here, young, old, you know what I mean, rich, poor, black, white, whatever it is, I want to get you in, man. Max said, I don't believe Charleston White subscribed to any of what I think because it brings attention, and attention keeps his content going, which in turn allows him to continue to make money. I agree. I think that Charleston is using this to his advantage. I'm wondering, like, really what the backlash is going to be, because it's not going to stop at just trying to cancel one show. So I'm wondering what the backlash is going to be. Roger said controversy brings asses to shows. It does. It definitely does, Roger. Because now, they want to hear if he's going to say this shit on stage. But, does Charleston White want to turn his show, into a protest where you got people outside protesting at his show? See, like, that's I don't think Charleston White may be thinking, and this is why I say, being quiet may be smart for you, because, see, now if you get people trying to break into venues and they're protesting at shows, now you're getting into a situation where the promoters don't want to cover you because it's going to cost them too much for security just to bring you in. You become more of a liability, and this is where I think your mouth can get you in trouble. See, Charleston don't got to say the things he's saying. He could just shut the fuck up and get his goddamn money. But instead, he choosing to go a route that is different ways to get your bread. So if they start protesting at his shows, they showing up with picket signs, they making it difficult for people to get in. You can't park. You got vandalism happening to the venues. That's the other side of getting Charleston White shows canceled and the fuck up out of here, is that you're a liability now. So, like, I think that it's difficult for people to think about things in a multi-layered fashion because the pushback can listen. It can get crazy. It can get crazy, and I'm gonna be honest with you. He said a lot of bad things about black people as well, and it could, be his karma. That's the other side. He said a lot of fucked up shit, man. Yeah, slander. Listen, I agree. I agree. Is it really backlash? He's still getting paid. It's all eyes on me. It's all eyes on me. So look, Charleston, I think is an opportunist, and he's doing an outstanding job of taking advantage of the Charlie Kirk situation. Now, I think that the other side is he's not really getting into the political side of it, but he's just, I mean, goddamn. Comedians have been canceled in the past. This is true. Shout out to Divine coming in. Listen, listen with the comedians I'm around. I don't hear a lot of you don't hear a lot of jokes around politics. Like you'll hear people make fun of the president, but you don't hear a lot of jokes like really going into depth about about political ideologies and how people feel, and like you're not really going there in that way. And I'm, that's just what I'm seeing so far. Now, I don't see a lot of people, going, on an open mic and talking about politics. I mean, there's, like I said, you could talk. There are people who talk shit about the president, but you don't hear them, talking so much about political ideology. Oh yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Sophie. Absolutely, or Sophie. I don't want to say it wrong, but yeah, I would have to agree with that there. Yes, it's interesting. Do I think Charleston White is cancelable? Here, my final thought on it is I would have to agree with Slander. Shout out to Slander in the chat. Charleston White is uncancelable. He is. Well, I don't think he's uncancelable. I think that his target audience is the younger people, and as long as he doesn't alienate them, he'll be fine. Now, when he starts to alienate them, I think that Uncle have a problem. But he kind of rolled into that new Shannon Sharp role. You got to get on here and act like a buffoon. Like that's basically what he's doing. And a lot of people talked about how that's not how Shannon Sharp was. Shannon Sharp never drunk. He never, smoked Black and Milds and all this shit because of how things was in his family. So to kind of come from that, now, sometimes you put on a role. So, is Charleston White playing a role? I think it's going to be interesting to see and find out whether or not he's playing. He's playing a role. Oh man, it's an interesting conversation, man. You can't cancel someone who never gave a fuck about being mainstream. That's a great point. Think first. Shout out to that point, man. You can't cancel someone who never gave a fuck about being mainstream. Beautiful point. Uncancelable. Uncancelable, man. Uncancelable. Yeah, listen. Niggas never canceled him. Listen, when he was talking about George Floyd, we didn't cancel that nigga. When he was calling the nigga a crackhead, beating up people. Listen, we didn't cancel him, man. We love Unc, man. We love Unc. Uncancelable, man. I agree, Slander. Look, he really got that younger generation on his back. That's why I say if Charleston White doesn't alienate the young people, if he doesn't alienate his audience, if Charleston White doesn't pull a conscious energy on his audience, he's good. He's good, man. That nigga's at boxing matches. Listen, I'm gonna have to go with uncancelable. I don't see it happening, like, and I think too, like people, I think they done got to the point where now they just don't take him serious as much. So like Charleston White, he not running for no office, he not representing nobody company. At the end of the day, Charleston White is just a nigga talking shit on the internet, man. Divine, he was. That's why, look, honestly, I can't be mad. I'll say this though, Charleston, this shit about his wife though, like, bro, like that's uncalled for. I mean, like, come on, man. I get it. You are over the top ass nigga, but leave her ass the fuck out of it. But god damn, like that nigga called George Floyd a crackhead, no problem. Talk shit about the nigga having funerals, talk shit about the celebrities that gave money. I mean, listen, he talks shit. Matter of fact, that is why white conservatives gravitated towards Charleston White. Oh man, as things come full circle, boy, oh boy, that's crazy. Well, yeah, I guess in many ways you got to agree with the nigga. Don't cry now. Don't fucking cry now. Oh man, that's terrible. Oh man, Dion, I'm listen. I can't listen to any. Charleston is terrible. I just want to say that is just horrible, and like, bro, I can't. It's terrible. Listen, speaking on people, kids like that is just awful. The wife thing was just, like so much of it is just uncalled for, man. It was just unfucking called for. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my god, man. Well, I guess this is how you get people talking about. I'm not saying crazy shit online. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Like I want to get into this thing with Tucker Carlson and Brandon Tatum though, and then we're gonna close the church service up. Come on, man, slander. She mad though. He mad. Well, I mean, I ain't even, I don't even go that way, you know what I mean? But I always say, what he gonna have to join? It gotta be the joint. Gotta be the joint. So, respectfully, he did good in that regard, respectfully. That's crazy. Oh man, the fucking joints. Oh man, listen, man. But look, let's round this out. O'Shea, man. Shout out to O'Shea. O'Shea be catching shit. Like a lot of this shit I wouldn't even, because I don't even pay attention. But a lot of this shit I wouldn't catch unless I call O'Shea on the joint there. But this situation with Tucker Carlson and Brandon Tatum, and I'm wondering, based on Brandon Tatum's own word, where this is gonna go. Because, bro, like if you're calling out Tucker, like, do you call out the homie? See, that's the question here, man. If you're calling out Tucker, do you call out the homie? It's an interesting situation that we have here.
Here, look.
Yeah, let me go back, man. I'm all the way up. Right, damn.
25. The Officer Tatum YouTube channel put out a video called Receipts Expose the Real Story Behind Charlie Kirk in Israel. And the goal of this video was to call out those individuals who were trying to hijack Charlie's death with anti-Semitic conspiracies and clout-chasing lies. And in this video, he attacked two people directly, but he started off pretty strong.
They're taking responsibility away from the person who really didn't confess to it.
Salute.
They're taking that power, or they giving him power, emboldening him, eluding what he did to talk about this.
Now, of course,
Trig, salute, Brody, for coming in. Now, listen, I have to agree with Tatum on that particular point, because if you're not talking about the guy who did this and you're talking about any other conspiracy around it, bro, we getting into a specific weed, a situation. And this is why I was like, man, listen, with that Candace Owens situation, and listen, nah, brother. Once you start, reporting on things, and like YouTube is real weird like that. Like once, things tend to come out officially in the news, officially put out by the government, you tend to run into situations where, they start to go back and retroactively, strike channels for having some of these conspiracies up. Like this shit is, so I was like, man, listen, let me stay the fuck away from that, man.
Of course, so far, so good. But then we find out the first victim and who it is.
Here's a clip from this guy named Nick Fuentes. If you don't know him, good on you, because he's an idiot. He is a narcissistic idiot. Don't let this fool trick.
Damn, Slander, I didn't see that. I'm gonna have to take a look at that, Slander. Goddamn.
Young people. Because now that Charlie's gone, he's trying to position himself to get the mind of the youth to be stupid like him.
The first victim is Nick Fuentes. Now, if you guys know, the Officer Tatum and Nick Fuentes and his Groyper camp have never really seen eye to eye. Number one, Brandon Tatum, aka the Officer Tatum, is black, and he's married to a white woman. And Nick Fuentes and the Groyper guys have already called out him in the past.
He'd rather hate Charlie Kirk than to take something from Charlie Kirk's book and begin to establish something that's sustainable. These little gropers are going around, they racist. They call my wife, and I'm not saying all of them, but the ones who got on my wife, they call her a coal burner because she's a
See, this is the dark side of what the far right is, man. This is the dark side of that. See, this is why people were supporting when Charleston White was talking shit about George Floyd and saying he was a crackhead, man. I mean, this is, at the end of the day, what you're talking about. And I mean, it's sad to say that these people will never accept you. They will never accept you. And, Brandon Tatum, many a times was a mouthpiece for these people. And you find out the hard way that these people, they don't believe that you should be around. Yes, Roger, she does. She does.
To a race. You know how stupid you got to be like, white people can't marry black people.
So as you already see, there's been a lot of back and forth between these two individuals, basically behind the fact that Officer Tatum is a conservative and he's married to a white woman, but also because the Officer Tatum is an Israel supporter. Now, this is interesting. He's basically going on to talk about the fact that Nick Fuentes is trying to take away Charlie Kirk's audience and bring them over to his side. And this is what he's trying to do with the death of Charlie Kirk. He's also going to mention the fact that, Nick Fuentes was an enemy of Charlie Kirk. And I really don't want to get into more detail about it, but I really don't mind this particular call out because some of it could be fair, right? And these two really don't like each other. But the next call out is shocking.
This is what bothers me, and this is why I don't fool with him no more. I don't want nothing to do. I've lost faith in Tucker Carlson. I never really liked him a lot. I didn't like how he talked. Like he was very condescending and he's just weird. But I respect.
Brandon Tatum had no problem being on that show. He had no problem being on Fox News. He had no problem, man. See, I never thought we would be here. I never thought we would be here. He had no problem. And now he's weird and he's condescending. The motherfucker eats at country clubs. And now he's weird and condescending. But see, this is what happens when you have a perspective that these people can say and do no wrong. But that's Candace boy. See, Tucker Carlson is Candace boy, and Brandon Tatum is Candace boy, and Tucker Carlson and Candace share the same talking points.
This gangster because he was keeping it real on Fox News. He was hitting them over the head. He would do tough interviews with Trump or anybody. And then somehow a tapeworm got in him, and now he just say the craziest stuff on planet Earth.
The Officer Tatum calls out the legend himself of Fox News, formerly Fox News, Tucker Carlson. Now, Tucker Carlson, as you can see, he also gives his own personal opinion about Tucker Carlson, basically calling him, in so many words, stuck up, and basically that he doesn't like Tucker Carlson. And the issue that Brandon Tatum has an issue with Tucker Carlson is because of this clip that Carlson released once Charlie Kirk got killed.
He did not like Bibi Netanyahu, and he said that to me many times, and he said to people around him many times. He felt that Bibi Netanyahu was a very destructive force. He was appalled by what was happening in Gaza. He was, above all, resentful that he believed Netanyahu was using the United States to prosecute his wars for the benefit of his country, and that it was shameful and embarrassing and bad for the United States, and he resented it. Didn't hate Netanyahu. He wasn't out there with a placard saying that, but he certainly expressed that to me and a lot of other people. And there's no question that Bibi's defenders on the internet will call me a liar or a kook, but that's a fact. And enough text messages exist that I think it can probably be verified in pretty short order. Not that it needs to be, because that is true.
Now, Tatum would then listen to this clip, and he would come back with some ferocious allegations. Tatum would address Tucker Carlson with the ferocious comeback.
Anti-Semitic person like Tucker Carlson is on stage spewing hatred against Jews and conspiracies. Why would a donor that's Jewish or that is donating to you because you are elevating the Zionist ideas that you have had since you was 16 years old, why would they not have a problem with it? You can believe that they're wrong or right or whatever your opinion is, but you can't deny that. Why would a donor say, I have no problem with you bringing this nut on stage in front of all of these young people and spewing stupidity?
Now, he's saying, like, listen, Tucker, you're anti-Semitic. You've always been anti-Semitic, even since when you were like 18 or 19. So why would they want to deal with somebody like you? Now, this is where I think Brandon Tatum and some of these black conservatives are crossing the line. Number one, Tucker Carlson is like, I would say he's like pretty much godlike amongst far-right conservatives, especially historically being on Fox News.
I would have to agree with that, man. Like, this is why, to me, this is interesting that Brandon Tatum would would take this particular perspective, because Candace Owens has not, taken this position. So in the position that Tatum is in, like, now you have to call out the homie. I don't see how you get around not calling out Candace Owens.
Still is, okay? But what's so interesting about Brandon Tatum, the problem with Brandon Tatum's argument is that, well, they had the memorial today. And guess who was on the list to speak for the memorial? Let's look at it here. White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Secretary Mark Rubio, Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Secretary Pete Hegseth, Director Tulsi Gabbard, Donald Trump Jr. There it is. Tucker Carlson, Stephen Miller, Sergio Gore. So guess what? Tucker Carlson was invited to speak. And how do we know it?
Action, because God is here and you can feel it. And Charlie would have loved this, not just because he loved large groups of people, but because ultimately he was a Christian evangelist.
And this doesn't really add up. And I'm going to tell you why it doesn't add up. Because Jews support Turning Point USA. And so they would have supported this event. So they supported the event knowing that Tucker Carlson was going to speak. So it must mean that Tucker Carlson must not be that much of an anti-Semite because he's not there. But we know who was not there, and that was you. Woo! We also know that Tucker Carlson was the main person that pushed this GoFundMe or Give Singo, basically raising almost $5.4 million on the behalf of Charlie Kirk. And guess who didn't put up $1 million? Brandon Tatum. Okay? They raised $5.4 million largely because of Tucker Carlson's pull. And what does that necessarily mean? That means that Tucker Carlson had a much closer relationship with Charlie Kirk than Brandon Tatum ever did. But here's the flip side of this whole entire argument. Brandon Tatum refuses to call out the real, aka anti-Semite, or the grifter of the year when it comes to the death of Charlie Kirk, and that is Candace Owens. Okay? Nobody financially is benefiting off the death and alluding to the fact that Israel somehow assassinated Charlie Kirk than her. Now, she hasn't explicitly said that, but she's also put a Netanyahu's photo in almost like half of the thumbnails. Like, let's look at this. They are lying about Charlie Kirk, episode 235. I mean, Charlie Kirk shooting suspect charge. I mean, that 5.5 million views. Who ordered the hit on Charlie Kirk? I mean, again, here we go. I mean, all of these conspiracy theories is right there. And guess who isn't talking about it? He's not addressing Candace Owens. And that's interesting. There's nobody who's a bigger conspiratist than her. And how do we know this? Let's go to this particular tweets, okay? But let's also go back to the Tucker Carlson thing, since Brandon Tatum doesn't like Tucker Carlson. Candace,
listen, there's Tatum, you might be out, bro. Tatum, you might be out. If he doesn't say something about Candace, listen, and Candace is close with Tucker. It's obviously the same position, her, Tucker, and Candace. I mean, I think Tatum is out, man. Tatum is out the game.
Owens also mentions the fact that she has evidence the same as Tucker Carlson to explain what was going on with Charlie Kirk.
Charlie was getting a lot of really nasty text messages, and many of them pertaining to Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, but Tucker Carlson was really the focus when it came to America Fest. How could Charlie allow these debates about Israel to take place? How could he allow Dave Smith, who, by the way, is Jewish, how could how could Charlie allow this other position to meet the stage? Because obviously when people start to hear the debates, what Dave Smith is saying sounds so rational, but it was up to Charlie to not allow those things to happen.
So in this clip, Candace Owens is pretty much backing up the same thing that Tucker Carlson's talking about. Again, Brandon Tatum seems to be a step behind. And let's look at the screenshots, the tweets, okay? The tweets in which he ended up.
I don't think Tatum's a step behind, man. I think he's refusing not to call his friend out. I don't think Tatum's a step behind.
Directly implies that Israel is behind this. Let's look at this. Tucker Carlson just exposed everything Charlie was going through with his Jewish donors and what his true feelings were towards Bibi Netanyahu. Watch to comprehend how sinister the lies are the Zionist crowd is trying to tell right now. Messages exist, stop lying. Woo! But wait a minute, hold on, Brandon Tatum. Wait, why are you refusing to come after your friend Candace Owens? I mean, that's crazy. In your whole podcast, that whole YouTube video, you come after Tucker Carlson and you come after Nick Fuentes. But the person who's doing all of this rubbish the most is Candace Owens. And he only mentions Candace Owens one time quite favorably. Check it out.
Charlie would never in his life say, I want my kids to be white. Charlie never felt that. Charlie never said that. Charlie never discriminated. When we first started Turning Point, well, he first started Turning Point USA, his best friend was a black woman, Candace. They were like this, bro. Flying on an airplane together, everything. I thought they was in a relationship at one point. I was like, they must be, oh, that's a good couple right there. Look, they going everywhere together. They in a couple. Then when I got to know him, I realized they weren't, but Charlie ain't no racist.
Basically here, he's trying to prove that Charlie Kirk is not racist because Candace Owens and him were like the best of friends. And he even thought that they were dating at one time. Who do glamour sounds? That's interesting. Hey, Brandon Tatum, I wouldn't have said all of that. But hold on, let's go back to the tweet. Sorry, guys, you murdered my friend. You unlocked the Inigo Montoya in me. We're not stopping until we get to the bottom of this thing. Hold on, wait, you. Well, we already know who murdered him, but Candace Owens is pushing that propaganda. The one that Brandon Tatum is talking about or blaming Nick Fuentes for doing when nobody's doing it more than her. He's come after Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, but not his friend Candace Owens. Look at this. All Bibi Netanyahu had to do was not lie on Charlie's name in the aftermath, and we wouldn't be here. So he's calling Netanyahu a liar. The same person that Tatum had on this live stream praising Netanyahu, but Candace Owens openly is calling Netanyahu a liar, and Brandon Tatum is too afraid to address her. But he has never been able to meet that challenge. Look at this. Awesome Jew was also at the Hampton Summit. Of course, I'm just sitting here looking at this list, LOLing at them, attempting to spin this as a totally casual fling that was not about Israel. But wait a minute. Since Brandon Tatum refuses to address his friend, what is everybody else saying? This guy, Pie Stop Enjoyer, Candace Owens, please shut the F up forever. Your friend was murdered for F's sake. Woo! All right, let's look at Apex. Candace Owens ain't playing around with y'all, Israelites today, right now, okay? White and Right America's favorite Negro went in on our show today, laying down evidence of what she feels was behind the death of her beloved Zaddy piece, Charlie Kirk. You go, girl. Okay, this is plain sight. In plain sight, what we believe is grifting. She's blaming Israel for this indirectly. Okay, but Brandon Tatum is being scared. Look at this here. Candace Owens accuses the you-know-who, all right, of murdering Charlie Kirk. Queen of brain rot. Oh, so even Jews themselves are upset about this. Y'all saw this pic from Candace Owens that she said Charlie Kirk's assassin and Dairy Queen the day after shooting. Weird when the Dairy Queen Superman campaign only ran from May to July. More grift using Charlie. It's so disturbing. Wow, even the fans are seeing this. Then look at this. Candace Owens inexplicably has broken new ground as an evil grifter. This is particularly one of the most disgusting things she's ever said. We watched Charlie get shot in the throat. This feels a little bit symbolic. It feels like they wanted us to know that his voice was problematic. Again, I don't know who they is. Again, so who's they? We all know who they is. So let's go back to Brandon Tatum, okay? So the thing is, Brandon Tatum is trying to stall Candace Owens out. But see, Brandon Tatum is in too deep on one side. Candace Owens is in too deep on the other. Now, Brandon Tatum does not want to start a war with Candace Owens because Candace Owens will fight back. And right now, they're both on different political avenues. They're on parallel streets, if you will. Okay.
That would listen. This is what I say. It's getting very interesting. because Brandon has refused to call out Candace. And I mean, I guess you know where the dead bodies are.
Okay. And he's trying to make it parallel, but somehow, some way, both of those streets or cars are going to come away from those streets and they're going to have to intersect. And the more that Candace Owens keeps coming after Netanyahu or certain people in Israel, Brandon Tatum will be left with nothing else but to go after Candace Owens. He just has to, okay? Because listen, Candace Owens is spreading all these lies out here. She's getting millions of views every day, and Brandon Tatum doesn't get as many views as Candace Owens. Her views are really hurting it. He's going to have to go to battle with his friend and on the behalf of Israel. And Candace Owens is going to take that up, and it's going to get really dirty. Maybe Tatum has some dirt out there he doesn't want anybody to know, but it's inevitable. These two are going to actually come to blows really, really soon within the next year, okay? Candace is not going to stop grifting for her money. And then Brandon Tatum will not stop grifting for theirs. Now it's no longer black on black crime. Both of them are married to Caucasians. So why are they going to get into it anyway? Because of greed.
Oh man, shout out to O'Shea, man. Yeah. See, look, this is why, like, politically for the channel, I got outside of that, man. I'm only talking about the fun shit, man. I can't, because it's too many rabbit holes, man. It's too much bullshit that go along with politics, man. So, you know, shout out to those that's building their channels with it, man. Much love to you. You know, it's gonna be a fun ride, but you know, get ready to, you know, do a lot of grifting. Politics, it just feel like a grift, man. Like with a lot of these political channels, man, it just feel like a grift, man. But you know, I can't do it. I can't do it. I have my foray, man. I'm good, man. But look, shout out to everybody. I'm getting ready to get out of here, man. Let's go ahead on and get the day started. Bobby Lowe, salute to you, brother, man. Always great to have you coming in, man. Always great to have you coming in. We'll see, you know, where they go. But listen, you end up going down a particular rabbit hole so deep, man, that it is what it is. Knowledge. Salute, man. Salute to everybody getting ready to have a productive day. Much love, man, and salute to everybody getting ready to have a productive day today, man. I appreciate everybody being in the live, man, this morning. That's been watching my lives when I go live in the morning. Much love, man. I know it ain't sector content, but shout out to those that still support, and shout out to those from before, you know, that's still supporting. We got a couple of other things coming up as well, man. You know, I'm trying to, you know, just keep it, you know, where we having fun. But some of these things, you know, interest Hoodie a lot. So like this particular situation with Brandon Tatum and Candace Owens has definitely been interesting to me, because, you know, as we came from it, you know, before. So like, you know, to kind of look at it now and to see them getting ready to kind of have a clash is going to be insane, man. It's going to be insane. But as you can see, man, sometimes content can kind of make you choose sides, and you know, you're gonna see, unfortunately, a friendship end. And I mean, if it doesn't, Brandon Tatum is gonna be, you know, he might be considered fake if he doesn't call out Candace Owens. I'm wondering how that is gonna go, because you know, people aren't gonna continue to let him get away with that without eventually having to address it. But listen, you know, we'll be here, man. We'll be here for some balloon pop, you know, to have some fun later, probably tomorrow, man, and talk some shit, you know. But shout out to everybody that continues to support, man. Much love and appreciation to you, man. And God bless y'all. Look, y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Peace.